Hey, what's up? Lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss the Netflix original film, the 2022 film, I Believe in Santa Claus. So this is hour and a half long. It felt like it was a 3 hour long film. It is so slow. It's so painful. It's not as terrible as everybody has been saying it is. I will say that. It's just a cheesy Christmas fluff TV film, right? There's no life lessons to be had from this. We just said that about the last one that we just watched, Christmas with You. So now I Believe in Santa. It's fine. It's not garbage, and it's not the greatest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. There's more than a few amazing Christmas films, but this is not one of them. This is it's slow. It's just very slow getting the story along. So you have this main guy who's an adult. He believes in Santa Claus, and he starts to like this woman who's a writer with this, what was it? It's not a blog. It's some kind of website, but it was more like a newspaper. I don't know what you want to call it. She's a coworker who's best friends. Then he has his own best friend, and the woman he likes has a girl. So now it's just a matter of that we start out on 4th of July, and then we end on Christmas. And it's the lead up to Christmas, right? They start to fall for each other, but then she can't get over the fact that he's a grown man and he believes in Santa Claus. You know, what's wrong with him? So it was a good conversation piece of what the Santa Claus, the Disney's, what year did that come out? 94, the Tim Allen Santa Claus film. What Judy the Elf says, seeing isn't believing, believing is seeing. And I think that was important in comparison, because that's what the premise of this film was about. You don't have to see something to believe it. Belief is believing in the unknown, believing in the unseen, and it's a feeling, all that kind of stuff, right? I hate religion talks within certain things when it's unnecessary, but there were specific religion talks in this film which made sense in regards to belief, and it was that whole, just because you don't see it doesn't mean it exists. But religion is mythology. Mythology is lore. So you can't say that lore is fact, because lore is a myth. Myth is a story. Stories are not fact. Fact is specifically tested, proven things, right? There's a difference. There's a distinct difference between belief and understanding. An understanding of a science, an understanding of how something works. Belief is believing in something, believing in Santa, believing in a higher power, if you want to isolate it to one singular deity or multiple deities rather than the universe as a whole. Differences, right? So it brought up that good conversation of seeing isn't believing, believing is seeing. I'm fine with that. I think that's a great message within regards to Christmas, within regards to Santa as a whole. We talked about this a few times within the Muppet reviews we've done. Why is it that when you go to the mall and you see Santa on his chair and you see all the little kids walking up to them, to take pictures, why is it that you say, oh, this is Santa Claus, say hi to Santa Claus, or the Easter Bunny, when the Easter Bunny does his mall visits? We communally all agreed that we're going to keep up that story, that myth. That way there is something to believe in. That we see this thing and the kids are seeing this thing. So it's real because they can see it. But it's also, aside from that, it's a duality of things. Seeing isn't believing, believing is seeing. But because I am seeing this, I believe in it. It can go both ways. I get it. It's confusing. I get it. But communally, as a whole, we, as a society, have all agreed upon, when you see the Santa in the mall, they're real. When you see the Muppet talking on the screen, they're real. That's a real frog talking to me. Kermit the Frog is real. Miss Piggy is real. It's not a guy's hand up a puppet controlling a mouth doing the voice. Kermit is real. Kermit's his own individual. Kermit and Miss Piggy are A-list celebrities. Kermit the Frog is a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Kermit is real. So why is it that we as a society have mutually agreed upon that these particular individuals, these particular characters are real? It's because we need something to believe in. We need something to keep that hope is still alive, that there is still magic in the air, that still nostalgic magic feeling you feel when a kid can still transcend into adulthood. It's the ideology that just because you get older doesn't mean you have to stop with your imagination. And I think that's a really cool point about it. So believe, imagine, it's okay to dream. I like those principles. I like those principles within the Muppets. I like that principle within Christmas. Santa is very much Kermit the Frog in that same sense. It's okay to believe. It's okay to remember that you were once filled with imagination, and then the world tore you down, threw you in a hole, and you're trying to see the light. I think it's a great imagery within things. So I get the underlining point of this film. It's just unfortunate it took 17 years to get there. That's how long it felt watching this film. It's an hour and a half long film, but it took far too long to get here. What I will say is that the girl who plays the young Ella in this, she's done a vast amount of things. She was in Ready Player One. She was in Megan. She's done a bunch of stuff. She's very, very talented. I'm very excited to see what she does next. But we watched it, checked it off the list. On to the next review. Mucho mahalo.